Hello everyone. Welcome to UIAS. Let's discuss today's prelims topics. Question 1. What is Maya Operating System (OS)? 1. Maya OS is a new operating system that is based on Ubuntu, a popular Linux distribution that uses free and open source software. The Ministry of Communications and Information Technology has developed Maya OS with the help of various government agencies, including the Defense Research and Development Organization (DRDO), the Center for Development of Advanced Computing (CDAC), and the National Informatics Center (NIC). 3. It has a feature called Chakraview, which is an endpoint anti-malware and antivirus software that creates a virtual layer between the user and the internet, blocking hackers from accessing sensitive data. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. The answer is B. The Defense Ministry has developed Maya OS with the help of various government agencies, including the Defense Research and Development Organization (DRDO), the Center for Development of Advanced Computing (CDAC), and the National Informatics Center (NIC). One of the main advantages of Maya OS is that it has a similar interface and functionality as Windows, making it easy for users to adapt to it. It also has a feature called Chakraview, which is an endpoint anti-malware and antivirus software that creates a virtual layer between the user and the internet, blocking hackers from accessing sensitive data. Question to consider the following statements about Raisina Dialogue. 1. It is a multilateral conference held annually in Mumbai. 2. The conference is hosted by the Observer Research Foundation, an independent think tank, in collaboration with the Ministry of External Affairs of India. 3. It is designed on the lines of Singapore's Shangri-La Dialogue. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. The answer is B. It is a multilateral conference held annually in New Delhi. Since its inception in 2016, the conference has emerged as India's flagship conference on geopolitics and geoeconomics. The conference is structured as a multi-stakeholder, cross-sectoral discussion involving a variety of global policymakers including heads of states, cabinet ministers, and local government officials. In addition, the dialogue also welcomes major private sector executives as well as members of the media and academia. It is designed on the lines of Singapore's Shangri-La Dialogue. Q3. Consider the following statements about Quit India movement. 1. Also known as the Bharat Chodo Andolan, was launched by Mahatma Gandhi on 8 August 1942. 2. The movement was a mass movement was launched at the Pune session of the All India Congress Committee AICC. 3. Quit India was coined by Subhash Chandra Bose, who was also a freedom fighter and served as Mumbai's mayor. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. The answer is A. Quit India was coined by Yusuf Meher Ali, who was also a freedom fighter and served as Mumbai's mayor. Gandhiji gave the clarion call of do or die to the countrymen for a decisive fight against British rule. During World War II, the British Empire, which was a part of the Allied forces, wanted to utilize Indian resources and manpower in the war. Until 1942, more than 90,000 Indian soldiers were killed in the war. Later, a member of the War Cabinet, Stafford Cripps, was sent to India to get cooperation in the war, while several protests were already triggered in the country. However, the financial condition of the country was not stable enough. Once Cripps met the Indian National Congress leaders and drafted the declaration, Congress refused to discuss it and rather demanded complete freedom. Question 4. With reference to India's semiconductor industrial policy, consider the following statements. 1. It is being managed mainly by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, (MeitY). 2. The schemes for manufacturing, assembly, displays, and compound semiconductors have been assigned to an independent division called India Semiconductor Mission, ISM, within a non-profit company set up by Ministry. 3. The policy for chip design is being administered by the Council of Scientific and Industrial Research, CSIR. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Answer is B. India's semiconductor industrial policy is being managed mainly by the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology, (MeitY). The schemes for manufacturing, assembly, displays, and compound semiconductors have been assigned to an independent division called India Semiconductor Mission, ISM, within a non-profit company set up by MeitY. The policy for chip design is being administered by CDAC, an R&D organization again under the MeitY. The ISM committee comprises largely MeitY bureaucrats. While the committee is a good beginning, ensuring that the semiconductor strategy survives beyond government terms requires a whole-of-government approach along the lines of the CHIPS Act. Question 5. Consider the following statements. 1. The approval of the Union government is not necessary for renaming cities. However, in the case of renaming states, the Union Home Ministry's nod is mandatory. 2. Article 3 in the Constitution deals with the formation of new states and the alteration of areas, boundaries, or names of existing states. 3. The state of Kerala came into being on 1st November 1956. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. The answer is C. There are several theories about the origin of the name Kerala. It says the earliest epigraphic record that mentions Kerala is Emperor Asoka's Rock Edict II of 257 BC. The inscription refers to the local ruler as Kerlaputra, Sanskrit for son of Kerala, and also son of Chera, referring to the Chera dynasty. When it was decided to reorganize states on a linguistic basis, the State Reorganization Commission of the Union Government recommended the creation of the state of Kerala. The commission under Syed Fazl Ali recommended the inclusion of the district of Malabar and the taluk of Kasargod to the Malayalam-speaking people's state. Question 6. Consider the following statements. 1. Nuclear power plants, NPPs, generate 10% of the world's electricity and help it avoid 180 billion cubic meters of natural gas demand and 1.5 billion tons of CO2 emissions every year. 2. The world still depends on fossil fuels for 82% of its energy supply, and the share of electricity in final energy consumption will also increase by 80 to 150% by 2050. 3. Small modular reactors, SMRs, are designed with a smaller core damage frequency, the likelihood that an accident will damage the nuclear fuel and source term, a measure of radioactive contamination, compared to conventional NPPs. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. Ans 6C. Conventional NPPs have generally suffered from time and cost overruns. As an alternative, several countries are developing small modular reactors, SMRs, nuclear reactors with a maximum capacity of 300 megawatts to complement conventional NPPs. SMRs can be installed in decommissioned thermal power plant sites by repurposing existing infrastructure, thus sparing the host country from having to acquire more land and or displace people beyond the existing site boundary. SMRs are designed with a smaller core damage frequency, the likelihood that an accident will damage the nuclear fuel and source turn, a measure of radioactive contamination, compared to conventional NPTs. They also include enhanced seismic isolation for more safety. Question 7. Consider the following statements about National Social Assistance Program (NSAP). 1. It represents a significant step towards the fulfillment of the directive principles in Articles 41 and 42 of the Constitution, recognizing the concurrent responsibility of the central and the state governments in the matter. 2. National Social Assistance Program is a social security and welfare program to provide support to aged persons, widows, disabled persons, and bereaved families on the death of the primary breadwinner belonging to below poverty line households. 3. It was launched on 15 August 1995. How many of the above statements are correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. All 3. D. None. The answer is C. The NSAP at its inception in 1995 had 3 components, namely National Old Age Pension Scheme (NOPS), National Family Benefit Scheme (NFBS) and National Maternity Benefit Scheme (NMBS). The National Maternity Benefit Scheme (NMBS) was subsequently transferred on 1 April 2001 from the Ministry of Rural Development to the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. On 1 April 2000, a new scheme known as Annapurna Scheme was launched. This scheme aimed at providing food security to meet the requirement of those senior citizens who, though eligible, have remained uncovered under the NOPS. In February 2009, 2 new schemes known as Indira Gandhi National Widow Pension Scheme (IGNWPS) and Indira Gandhi National Disability Pension Scheme (IGNDPS) were introduced. Question 8. With reference to Grand Canyon, consider the following statements. 1. This is a steep-sided canyon carved by the Colorado River in Arizona, United States. 2. It is the deepest canyon in the world. Which of the above statements is correct? A. Only 1. B. Only 2. C. Both. D. None. The answer is A. Even though it is not the deepest canyon in the world, Kali Gandki Gorge in Nepal is much deeper. The Grand Canyon is known for its visually overwhelming size and its intricate and colorful landscape. Thank you, everyone. Do subscribe to this channel. Use code SPLIVE to join Unacademy.